So as of last Sunday, the college football playoff semifinal is now set. Number 1 Alabama versus number 4 Oklahoma, and number 2 Clemson versus number 3 Notre Dame. One of these 4 teams is gonna be crowned your college football playoff national champion. But as always, there's a ton of complaints on what teams did not make the college football Final Four. You have UCF, who's won for 2 consecutive years, comes in at number 8. They were 4 spots away from making the playoff. Ohio State could have potentially made it as Big Ten champion. Georgia, they were a very good team. People could argue they should have made the playoff. But the obvious solution to fix all of this and to silence everybody and to give everybody what they want is to expand the playoff to 8 teams. Now teams like UCF could get their chance against the big dogs. But unfortunately, in the near future, it doesn't look like we're ever going to be able to see what college football would look like if it had an 8-team playoff. But that's until today, because I am a scientist. RBT in the flesh, with an NCAA Football 14 experiment, as we're going to see what college football would look like if it did have an 8-team playoff. What team would reign victorious as college football national champions if 8 teams had a shot? In today's Elite 8 playoff is going to be seeded as per rank by the final college football playoff top 25, and that is as follows: number 1 Alabama, 2 Clemson, 3 Notre Dame, 4 Oklahoma, number 5 Georgia, 6 Ohio State, number 7 Michigan, and the final team that does make it is number 8 UCF. They finally get their chance. Now all this does is create more arguments, because Washington did with the Pac-12, they didn't make it. You can take that up with the college football playoff committee. So the matchups: number 1 Alabama versus number 8 UCF. Number 2 Clemson versus number 7 Michigan. Number 3 Notre Dame versus number 6 Ohio State. And the rankings are a little messed up on this one, but I mean, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. You still get the point. Number 4 Oklahoma versus number 5 Georgia. Now this video is being made with the most up-to-date rosters. This is the most accurate college football roster you can get out there. And players like Mackenzie Milton, obviously he is injured in real life, but he's going to play in today's video because that would mean I'd have to go through and take out every single player that's injured. Here's number 7 Michigan's top players. 98 overall Devin Bush. It's going to be a menace. Number 6 Ohio State has some big dogs led by Nick Bosa, the brother of Joey. 97 overall. Got Dwayne Haskins as a 92 overall too. Number 5 Georgia, led by senior DeAndre Baker, 97 overall. Number 4 Oklahoma, with some talent on that offensive side. We'll have to see if that struggling defense can play well enough today to get them into the college football playoff final. Now to the top 3. Notre Dame, top overall player is a punter. Number 2 Clemson, with one of the most stacked rosters we've seen thus far. 3 98 overall players and a 96. And last but not least, the number 1 team in the country and the favorites to win today's college football playoff, University of Alabama, led by 98 overall, Jonah Williams. So it's time. Gonna go through every match individually in today's video, starting with number 1 Alabama versus number 8 UCF. Hopefully guys do enjoy today's video and appreciate all the work put into it. Make sure to smash the like button if you do enjoy and subscribe if you are new. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below 2 things. Who do you think is gonna win the college football playoff in real life? And in today's video, are we going to have a surprise? Let me know in today's video what your prediction is for who you think is going to win the national championship game. Neutral field, Cowboy Stadium. Can UCF actually compete with the big dogs? Just think about how awesome this would honestly be though, if we had an 8-team playoff that gives us a couple extra games in college football, a couple extra meaningful games. Why does it say I'm Army? Obviously, Army is not involved in today's game. So that's already a weird start. We're not actually going to sit through the whole entire game because that would obviously take a couple hours and we don't have that time here. We're going to go ahead and just skip ahead, end of game, and see who's going to get this win. UCF goes on top 7-0. Now it's 10-7 Bama. Oh boys, this is actually a closer game than what many would expect. Tie game now. Almost going into halftime. Just kidding. Alabama takes the lead 17-0. 24-0. Alabama looks like, yep, they're definitely pulling away here. UCF with some fight into the fourth quarter, 31-17. Looks like it's going to be a GG. UCF stood in for a long time, but your final for the first game in this Elite 8, the newest college football playoff, Alabama does advance to the college football semifinals with a 38-24 win over poor UCF. Should have looked at the stats, but here we are. Damian Harris had 40 carries, over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mackenzie Milton had a good game against Bama, 19-33, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, but just didn't have enough to get it done, but they did put up a fight. Next, we have number 2 Clemson versus number 7 Michigan. Another neutral field, the home of the Indianapolis Colts. Who's going to come out on top? On paper, Michigan actually has the better team overall-wise in this game. It's time. To the end of the game, who's going to get the dub? Clemson out on top 7-0. And it looks like Michigan's going to get a field goal 7-3 into the second quarter. 14-3 Clemson. Oh, goodness, Michigan. Oh, 21-3 now at halftime. Looks like Michigan isn't going to... Oh, they can come back. Oh, God, 21-10 game now into the fourth quarter. Does Michigan have some fight? They're coming back 21-16, an 8-point game now. Michigan ties the game. Oh, what a comeback. But Clemson in overtime gets the win. What a comeback from Michigan. What a valiant effort. But Clemson in overtime does get the narrow win, 27-24 over Michigan. So Trevor Lawrence lit up that Michigan defense, almost 400 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Next, number 6 Ohio State versus number 3 Notre Dame. Game is going to be played at Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions. Still haven't had a team outside the top 4 get an upset. Is this going to be the one? So this game's actually even on paper, both teams at a 93 overall. Notre Dame has the better defense, Ohio State the better offense. So what's going to prevail? Offense or defense? Is the lower seed finally going to get the dub in this game? Let's see how this one plays out. Looks like Notre Dame's going to take a 7-0 lead. Ohio State equalizes 7-0 into the second quarter. Now a 14-7 game. 14-10 Notre Dame with the lead. 21-10, 21-17. Crazy stuff is happening here in the second half. Notre Dame with a 4-point lead. Ohio State takes the lead by 3 to the fourth. It's a 10-point game now. Notre Dame on the comeback, down by 3. So Ohio State gonna get it done, and they do. Finally, a lower seed team does get the dub in a comeback win. Ohio State 31-28 over Notre Dame. Players of the game, both quarterbacks had big ones. Ian Book was 300 yards. Dwayne Haskins, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns. Final matchup in the college football playoff quarterfinal. Number 5, Georgia versus number 4, Oklahoma in Orlando, Florida. Just kind of wish the rankings were swapped here to make it completely authentic, but let's disregard that. But it is time, my friends, to see who is going to prevail. Similar to the end of the game. Georgia, quick, oh God, it's 10-0 already. Now 10-3, 17-3. 17-10. Oklahoma still hanging in there. A 23-10 ball game now. 23-17 into halftime. 23-20. High scoring game. 26-20 now. Oklahoma now takes the lead by 1. 30-26 into the fourth quarter. Georgia is going to take the lead with 2 minutes to go by 3. Oklahoma 33. Oh my God. I can't even speak fast enough for everything that was happening. Oklahoma gets revenge for last year's Rose Bowl and last year's college football semifinal matchup and does get the win 37-33 to advance into the college football semifinal. The final stats, both quarterbacks put up huge numbers. Kyler Murray, 370 yards, a potential Heisman here with 370 yards. 2 total touchdowns. Jake Fromm had a big game too. The youngster, 325 yards, 3 total touchdowns. So your college football playoff semifinals now set. Game 1, number 1 Alabama versus number 6 Ohio State. And on the other side, number 2 Clemson versus number 4 Oklahoma. Matchup set. Miami, Florida in the Orange Bowl. Who's gonna reign victorious? The moment of truth. Similar to the end of the game. Still nothing. Almost. This is the lowest scoring game thus far. Ohio State takes the lead. Alabama gets it right back. This goes too fast. Alabama 14-10 into halftime. Now it's 21-10. 28-10. Alabama looks like it's going to be a blowout. Into the fourth quarter, 35-10. Oh, poor Ohio State. Alabama with a pretty big win. 21 points to be exact. 38-17 over Ohio State. Poor Buckeyes, but Alabama number 1. Looks like they take you down this time as Alabama does advance to the college football playoff national championship game. Final stats from this one too. I had a huge game, almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Last college football playoff game before the national championship stage is set. Number 2 Clemson versus number 4 Oklahoma, the Cotton Bowl. So who's gonna get it done here? Should be a high-powered game. Kyler Murray versus Trevor Lawrence. Click of a button, gonna be able to see who's gonna advance to play against Alabama in the national championship game. So skipping to end of game. This should be a high-scoring affair. As I say that, nobody scored yet. 7-0. Clemson takes the early lead into the second quarter. 7-3. Now 14-3, 14-10. Oh, Oklahoma's hanging in there now. 21-10. Clemson with the lead. 21-13 now in the second half as a tied game. Clemson takes the lead again though. 28-21. Into the fourth quarter, Clemson 2-touchdown lead. Does Oklahoma have what it takes? No, they do not. As Clemson gets the biggest blowout, I think, of the college football playoff thus far, 45-21. Hilarious that the biggest blowouts came in the 2 semifinal games. After everything, after expanding the college football playoff to 8 teams, looks like the top 2 teams still prevail. Final stats from this one, oh my god. No wonder Oklahoma lost. Their top player offensively, Trey Sermon, only 19 yards on the ground. The stage is set. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Clemson in the national championship game. Quick little recap of what's happened up to this point in the quarterfinal. Number 1, Alabama versus number 8, UCF. Alabama got the win 38-24. Next, number 2, Clemson beat number 7, Michigan 27-24 in a close one. Next, number 6, Ohio State got the lone upset win in this college football playoff up to this point, 31-28 over number 3, Notre Dame. And last game in the quarterfinal, number 4, Oklahoma defeated number 5, Georgia 37-33. Now into the semifinal, we had Alabama blow out Ohio State 38-17. And last but not least, you had Clemson blow out Oklahoma 45-21 to set this stage. National championship game, number 1 versus number 2. What scenes? The Rose Bowl. Hosting the national championship game, Pasadena, California. Now the plan here is if this game is close, about halfway through the fourth quarter, we'll jump into the game and actually watch. But if not, we'll just skip if it ends up being a blowout. Oh god, Alabama already on top, 14-0. Clemson now 14-7. If it's close, like I said, halfway through the fourth, we'll end it and watch it together. But Alabama looks like it might be a blowout. 24-10 into the second half. 30-10 now, 30-17 now, 37-17. It's a 13-point game now, but I think Alabama is going to reign victorious in another blowout, 44-24 over Clemson. So crazy enough, the toughest game Alabama had the whole entire playoff was against UCF. So there you go for your UCF fans out there. But Alabama in the first ever 18 college football playoff gets a huge win, 44-24 over the Clemson Tigers. As after all this, the number 1 seed still gets the dub. As final player stats in this one, to a huge game, 400 yards on the dot, 4 touchdowns, as Alabama does get the dub. First ever college football playoff with 8 teams. So hopefully guys did enjoy today's video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you are new, and once again in the comments, let me know who you think is going to win this year's college football playoff. Be sure to enter my Instagram giveaway for 2 Xbox One X's and 2 PS4 Pros. Link to that will be in the description box below. But I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. God bless, and peace.